Today, we're going to talk about High School of the Dead.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
Did we have a costume malfunction?
Not anymore.
No.
So, today, we're going to talk about High School of the Dead. Really, that look just about sums it up. High School of the Dead is a zombie apocalypse story set in Japan, well, in a high school. And for which I have to say, Japan, rock on for your lack of originality. Now, the story begins when one of the main characters, while in the process of talking with a girl that he's been trying to date for the longest time and getting turned down again and again, sees one of his teachers getting bitten by this guy who, well, kind of looks like an accountant. And from there, well, the school becomes infected, a whole bunch of stuff kind of goes mad, lots of people turn into zombies, lots of girls flash skin, and stuff blows up, things happen. What else?
Buses roll over.
Buses roll over.
Military shoots at people.
Military shoots at people, police shoot at people shoot at people stab people. People strip down to next to nothing for no particular reason whatsoever.
Except for boobs.
Except for boobs, which is usually a pretty good reason.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I ain't even mad.
Like I said, zombie apocalypse story, set in high school, lots and lots of gratuitous fan service. I'm trying to think of any other series that goes this big and this wide on the concept of fan service. The only thing that even comes close is Hsotd, and the only reason it does not fall into the same sort of pit that makes Hsotd something I can't stand to watch is the fact that there's actually some halfway decent writing in here. My only problem is that a lot of the times the halfway decent writing is compromised by the fact that the characters are having a conversation, things are really interesting, stuff is intense, but the camera view is right about here. Which makes it a little distracting if you're trying to focus on the actual conversation in question. So much so that, well, I'd like to say that I invented it, but she actually did. There's now actually a High School of the Dead drinking game amongst our respective anime crew. And the game goes like...
1 sip for boob shot. 2 sips for panty shot. 1 shot for boob panty combo. And need I remind you, here's a word of caution. Do not try and start this game during the opening credits. You will be done.
Yeah. I also recommend not going for more than 3 episodes while playing this particular game, unless you have a really high tolerance for alcohol or you're really into alcohol poisoning. Oh, I also have my own additional rule. If the character, Psycho, is completely clothed at any given time past the 3rd episode, take a shot. That's kind of how the series works. It's one of those ones where it's an action-adventure series with zombies so you can kill anything in front of you and not feel bad about it. And then just to make things more interesting, they have one guy surrounded by a whole bunch of women who are wearing next to nothing for reasons that make no sense whatsoever. It's kind of a combination really good action film mixed with an exploitation film, and it really doesn't try to be anything other than that, and I'm okay with it.
Pretty much summed it up.
Okay, just checking.
Sometimes it seems a little excessive, but I think actually after a certain point, when you're trying to pay attention to the storyline, even with all the gratuitous, hey, boobs, panties, it gets to the point where you become almost numb to it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what other things aside from penny shots, brush shots. Oh, the characters. You've got the main male lead who I'll just basically describe as typical spiky-haired high school boy who's in the process of growing into manhood. His chunky best friend who is an expert with guns, so if you happen to be, he's the sort of character that if you're a video game fanatic, you kind of feel that all that time spent playing first-person shooters might not be wasted. Then we've got bitchy girl, sexy girl, sword-wielding girl, and fucking useless girl. I would give the characters names, but really that's all you need. I don't know, am I going too far with that?
No, fucking useless pretty much pins it.
Yeah, when the person who's supposed to be the school nurse is the one that's fucking useless, you have an issue. Now, there's all sorts of interesting subplots about how it is that in the midst of all of this, man is the real monster. There's things about the abuse of power or the creation of power, and quite frankly, it's still overwhelmed by all the fucking fan service. Or am I wrong?
Nope.
Okay. The quality of the animation. Here's where we get into... I'll just show you this scene and you will understand. And go.
Boobs do not move like that, and if they did, the girl would probably be screaming in pain.
So with that in mind, be aware that the animation quality in this is really, really high, but what they've basically managed to do is turn an action film into something that works in Warner Brothers cartoon physics.
Especially when the boobs move on their own for no reason whatsoever. A good Wonder Bra will keep them in place, girls.
It's kind of like if the wind just kind of goes up by 1 mile an hour, the next thing you know, you just kind of get a big boob action shot.
I can't make my boobs jump like that on their own.
Yeah. Overall, okay. If you want to find an anime that you're going to sit down and enjoy a really good action one where you can just turn your brain off and enjoy the show, this is definitely the anime for you. This is not Serial Experiments Lane. This is not Paranoia Agent. This is High School of the Dead, and you have to be aware that you're basically watching the anime equivalent of a popcorn film.
I'd recommend watching it just to, if you want something that you can actually tear apart as in, porno flick, sort of, or, action movie. It's actually got a great storyline when you're not being, when you cut out all of that.
Hold on, let me get one prop to describe. So, remember that drinking game that I was talking about? Okay, if you're going for longer than 3 episodes, have a bottle like this. It will empty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that we harp on the fan service, but once you see the series, you'll absolutely understand. And with that in mind, I do actually recommend the series. It's a lot of fun, it's really enjoyable, and from time to time, you're going to just kind of smack yourself from just sitting there kind of taken in by the whole, spectacle of the whole thing. Anyway, in the end, High School of the Dead, have to give it a recommendation. You can currently find it on Funimation, and in both dub and sub version. I think it might also be running on Anime Network, so check that one out. Plus, there's been a DVD Blu-ray release, which actually is really good. Anyway, in the end, my name is Dave Nesbit. This is Millie Von Hellion. That was High School of the Dead. This is A Mind Apart. Thank you very much.
Bye. Should we tell them about the drinking game?
Oh, yeah. No, hold on. Let's describe High School of the Dead first, then we'll get to the drinking game.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Sorry, distracted.